Hello students, welcome to class. So we'll continue with the Red-Headed League. We have left off the story in that part when Mr. William Morris or a Duncan Ross was not able to be identified. And after thinking for a while, where is Vincent Spaulding, the man who worked in the shop of Mr. Wilson? So let's move on to what happened next. Scene 2, page number 133. Outside Wilson's shop in Saxe Coburg Square, Holmes is walking up and down. Now and then he hits the ground outside the shop with his walking stick. Then he knocks the door of the shop. Spaulding opens the shop door. The legs of his trousers are dirty. Now, Vincent Spaulding was there in the shop, and when Holmes was walking up and down, and while he was walking up and down, he was using his walking stick to knock, outside the, on the ground, making a tapping sound, and then he knocks at the door of the shop. Then Vincent Spaulding opens the shop door. The legs of his trousers are dirty. If you can see in the picture here, the legs of Spaulding are indeed dirty. You can see it all filled up with mud, isn't it? And Spaulding, can I help? Spaulding said, "Can I help you?" "Yes." "How can I get to the Strand?" Spaulding, third on the right and fourth on the left. He goes back into the shop and closes the door. So Spaulding simply offered to help, be helpful. So you can go to the right, and then fourth on the left. He goes back to the shop and closes the door. Holmes, he's a very clever man, Watson. Holmes then told, his friend Watson that, "Oh, Vincent Spaulding is quite a clever man." Watson, "Is he? Why did you ask about the Strand? You know London very well. You wanted to see him." So Watson was very, confused. "Holmes, why did you, ask for Strand? You know London very well, and you know where Strand is. You wanted to see him. Did you notice his trousers?" Holmes is a very good observer. We have talked about that. And Watson, his trousers? "No, but I saw you hit the ground with your stick. But I saw you." Watson been with Holmes for a long time. He was able to understand that Holmes, everything that he does, there is a reason behind it. And when he was stepping on the ground with his walking stick, that was noticed by Watson, and it was quite confusing for Watson to understand why he did that. But Watson knew in his deepest thoughts that there might be some kind of clue to that. But then he did not observe the trousers of Mr. Vincent Spaulding. "My dear Watson, this is no time for discussion. I must go and look at the roads behind Saxe Coburg Square. You have to go to your work." "Yes, to the hospital." "Right, but I want your help tonight. Come at 10 o'clock. So they have decided that they would meet at 10 o'clock, and they would go behind that particular square, behind the Saxe Coburg Square, to look for something, and what it is they will only come to know in the next part. At 10 o'clock they are going to meet at night. Scene 3, the strong room at a bank with many boxes and crates in it. Holmes, Watson and Jones are on stage, hiding behind some boxes. Holmes, "Is everything ready upstairs, Mr. Jones?" So the scene 3 that opens, and there you can see it's a strong room at a bank. You know what's a strong room in a bank is? A place where you keep all the maybe the money, the kind of a locker, everything, and with many boxes and crates in it. Holmes, Watson and Jones are on stage, hiding behind some boxes, and in that particular strong room, Holmes and Watson are hiding behind some crates. Crates are some boxes, the cartoon boxes. It can be hard carton, it can be made of plastic. So Holmes, "Is everything ready upstairs, Mr. Jones?" "Jones, my men are waiting at the front door." of the bank and near the shop. And Mr. Jones, as you all know, he is the police officer here. So everything was now suddenly everything was done up by Mr. Holmes. Prepared, well prepared. Holmes, good. Now we must be quiet and wait. We must be very quiet and wait there. He puts out the light. The strong room is totally dark now, but we can see the men waiting behind the crates. Nothing happens. Watson looks at his watch. So they kept waiting for someone to come up that particular strong room in the bank, and nothing happens. It's almost, Watson said, whispering, "It's 11:15, Holmes. When?" And suddenly Holmes said, "Shh, don't imperil our investigation." Imperil means don't put it, our investigation put in danger. We just keep quiet and just be quietly, waiting. So they see a light coming through the stone floor, and from the stone floor they see a light coming out. Suddenly the stones give way. First a hand with a gun comes out of the ground, and then another hand. Spaulding comes out, followed by Ross. So you can see in the picture here the ground that is open, Spaulding that he has caught, the gun that is there here, and the lamp that he carried. So that was the light there, you can see in the image there. Spaulding to Ross. Now have you got, with this light, Holmes comes out from behind his box and hits Spaulding's arm. Now the gun is on the ground. Ross quickly gets back into the tunnel. Jones wants to stop him, but he cannot. Holmes, you can't get away, John Clay. Spaulding, no, but Ross, my friend. Holmes, there are 3 men waiting for him at the other end. Spaulding, you think of everything, Mr. Holmes. You are very clever. So Vincent Spaulding gave in now. Okay, Mr. Holmes, you are a very clever man. No one can really cheat you. So are you, John Clay. Your red-headed league was clever. So this man, Vincent Spaulding, was working for Wilson, was alias John Clay. It was not his real name. And the last part we'll do in another episode. Thank you and have a nice day.